All right, let's dive in deep. And JB Weld actually touched on specifically the question that I wanted to touch. In some of our last conversation, you mentioned that identifying drones is a challenge, friend or foe specifically. With the density of drones right now, I believe it still is a challenge, especially for some of the frontline soldiers.
Yeah,
But has
absolutely.
this been addressed? Like, has there been any specific developments in this field, or is it still the case where that
No,
we just don't know?
no. It's. I mean, look. There was a assault. One of my assaulter guys yesterday just told me, you know, I think I told him, hey, next time you see a drone, look up. It might be mine. And he said, well, don't worry, I'll still shoot it down. Um, if you see a drone, you shoot it. If you are a infantry guy, you don't care. Okay, you just so drone operators have to be very careful where they're flying. Um, and it's not just that. You also have electronic warfare. Both sides have electronic warfare, right? So if you're not flying in the right signal range and there's not proper communication, communication is the key here. Absolutely key. Communication and coordination between units, both within a brigade, within a battalion, and between brigades. Okay, that is what's going to fix this problem, and it's only, frankly, by units banging their head against the wall, going, "Oh my God, we just got our drones shot down," and being frustrated, and the commander saying, "Why didn't this mission go well?" Well, this is why. And then, for people to make those changes in communication, because there is a very strong cultural impetus in Ukraine between Ukrainians against communication between groups or
Yeah.
within groups even.
Then another question. There is a been interesting discussion that I've been a part of with regards to what kind of drones and what kind of frequencies. Like the you mentioned already at the beginning that frequencies in general right now is sort of the thing of the past. That right now it's pretty much fiber or get the fuck out.
Mm,
But one of the interesting conversations that I've heard was that which drones and which frequencies do you need? And the answer from Ukrainian side was 2.4 gigahertz, which
mm-hmm,
is like the most default frequency I can get. This is literally just a
mm-hmm.
commercial grade frequency. And the
Yeah,
argument was that the Russians are using it. Therefore,
yeah,
like
right.
sometimes we can have it cleared and we can therefore fly that frequency. And I've seen the
Mm-hmm.
big chart of like a table of all of the known frequencies for the drones that are flying. It's a huge chart,
Yeah,
and there are like some super exotic, both low and high end ones.
yep, yep.
So, what is the deal with frequencies right now on that and so
Right.
on?
So it is not universal. But you could talk to one guy in Pokrovsk and some other guy in Sumy, another guy in Zaporizhia, AO, and they're going to have completely different stories. Okay, because it's different everywhere you go. Okay, if I would say like Pokrovsk area, for example, that's a really the Russians are putting a lot of their resources in there, and so you're going to be much more restricted. I wouldn't even try 2.4. Okay, you in other places where it's not quite so intense. Yeah, yeah, go for it. That is definitely a technique. We find out what frequencies the Russians are not doing their reb on, and we say, oh, that's what they're going to be flying on. So we either want to have reb on those frequencies, or we want to fly our own drones on those frequencies. Sometimes, unfortunately, like a commander of an area, the brigade level or something, will just have to say, okay, all drones stop flying right now. We need to figure out whose drones are what and where they're coming from and what frequencies. And be at one brigade will put up reb and it'll screw uh the unit next door, you know, and so it's a constant problem. This is communication, because it's always changing and it's always going to. Now, higher frequencies are getting more and more common. So I'm talking about above 5.8, 6, 7. I mean, going all the way up to, the problem is you get more rain fade. Rain fade, it becomes a problem. Above 2.4, certainly in the 5 gigahertz range, That's where any water. I don't mean just rain. I'm talking about the leaves on trees have enough water in them to block the signal. Yeah.
This is the table I was talking about. Like, I know you cannot see, but this is like all of the known frequencies that there
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
on the front line, and there's like
And there
all
are
the way up
gaps
to
too.
12,000.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this is another. So this is why we need drone laboratories like mine. Okay. Look, I'm not. By no means am I saying, oh, we're not using radio frequencies anymore. No, no. We need more engineers who can change. You know, we get drones from wherever, from the brigade. They come from the manufacturer, and they have whatever frequency that VTX or whatever that's on them. Almost guaranteed, we're gonna have to change that out, okay, to match whatever's on the battlefield today. You know, so this is what a drone laboratory does. This is why our work is so necessary, because we are constantly playing that cat and mouse game. You know, with the Russian side, there's always going to be a gap somewhere that we can slip in. You know, and that's what we do.